What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Jesus Coin today. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, my friends, and let's get into it. This could be the biggest coin to pump from here until the end of January that I personally own, or that I'm aware of, that I'm watching on a regular basis, right? So it's very, I think, important. This might be a key moment in Jesus Coin's kind of history to make this video right now, because I really do believe that we are at the low of this move here, right? I really do believe this, right? That this move here, from the relative highs that we had in October to the lows that we're at here now in December, I believe that we are at the lows and that we are ready to move up. If we look at the weekly time frame, we go from relative low here to relative high. We have hit the 786, you guys. We have torn right through the 618 golden ratio and gone right to the 786. This kind of formation is notorious for a wicked bounce. If it was the other way around, if we were coming up and finding resistance at the 786, those are known for wicked rejections, right? But we're on the upside, or the plus side of that, and we literally to a T found support right at the 786. We've been continuing to find support here, and actually a very positive reaction already. If my theory on the 786 is to hold true, I would assume that over the coming week, we would see a nice immaculate bounce. We're at 7639 right now. We would see something that like doubles the price, more than that, potentially over the next week, if not over the coming weeks, right? We're going to see a lot of growth, I think. And if we look at the RSI on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we've got some nice higher lows coming in succession here, right? Higher lows, while the price itself is forming lower lows, right? That's intense bullish divergence going on, right? We've definitely, and volume's been dying off, right? Other than this one peak in volume here, volume on average really has been dying off. So as we're moving lower, bullishly diverging, as we're moving lower on average, except for this one pip here, volume's dying off, right? We're getting there, and now we're kind of moving sideways slash like turning a curve here. It's not as pronounced to the downside, right? We're not at the same kind of level, at least not yet, right? It seems as though we're curving right here. You can kind of see it, and that makes sense with this bullish divergence, especially being that this last low came in right on top of the oversold zone. I would suspect, and I do suspect, that right now, guys, we're in the midst of that next move. I think that right here, you're at 7076. If you want to buy Jesus Coin at lower prices, you're probably not going to get it. That's my assumption, man. Oversold on the daily time frame. We've been flirting with this oversold zone quite a bit. We got rid of our bullish divergence on the daily time frame, and now it might be time to go up, right? It's like right when you get rid of it. It's like here. It wasn't while the RSI had a higher low, right? It was only once you closed low enough to get that RSI to have a lower relative low. That's when you found your low, and that's when you started moving up higher, right? Here, it wasn't when you had the bullish divergence that you found your low. Maybe it's when you finally negated the bullish divergence, you got below this low, that you found your low. I don't know. It's just a theory. But the real thing here, looking at this, trend, is that if we were to move up from here in the RSI, we'd break out of this downtrend that we've been in since October, and likely that would be reason enough, more than reason enough, for Jesus Coin to see a nice retracement of this overall downward move, and probably a continuation of what we started back here in September. My assumption is, cutting to the chase here, my assumption is that going into the end of January, going into this next month, we'll be making a move that runs us up as high as 604 to 6064, somewhere in that area. The targets have changed a lot, right? We didn't get that December, we didn't get that December drop or pump that we were looking for, right? We were expecting a pump and we got a drop instead. We were expecting this consolidation phase instead of this during December. We were expecting this kind of during December and November, right? And it just didn't happen. So we were going to consolidate here, and then going into January, we'd be at new all-time highs. Well, since we've pulled back, it looks like targets have to change, right? So I don't want to hear anybody saying, what about 5011? What about higher targets than that, new all-time highs? I thought we were supposed to get that by the end of January. We were. Back whenever, it was the end of November, end of December, we were still in this beginning of December consolidation phase. We were expecting to move up. things are different now, right? So now we just have to, those targets are still on the table. I absolutely do believe, and I want to clarify, I do believe that we will see these targets. It's inevitable. I absolutely 100% do believe that Jesus Coin will see those targets and higher and above and beyond. It's just going to take more time than we originally thought, right? Right now, the next target area that I would expect us to top off at would be something between the 786 and the 886 at 6035 to 6044, and we absolutely could go higher. If you take the relative high here to the relative low, you've got targets that are a little bit higher than that 886 even, right? You've even got targets that are at new all-time highs, and this whole box here is a very suitable, adequate area for the end of January. But what I also like about this relative high to low fib here, giving us this primary extended zone over here, lining up with these fibs over here, which this is our next target zone based off of the overall resounding move. This is our next target zone based off of this corrective move here, right? It looks like we would more likely hit the topper ends of this expected zone, right? I said the topper, sorry, the higher ends of that zone rather than the lower ends. So I would think something around 6044 or higher is what we could expect by the end of January. You're at 70764 right now. That would be good for a move that's anything from like a 5.7x or more over probably the next 4 to 5 weeks. And that's all I got for you guys. So if you like that video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. If you're looking to get into Jesus Coin, now might be quite literally the best time. As the weeks go on, it's only going to become more and more obvious that this was the low, right? I think by the end of next week, we will be a sizable ways up higher. And then the following week will be even probably above these highs, or maybe that's 3 weeks away from here. But then going into that third, fourth week from now, I would suspect we are up in this all-time high area, maybe reaching for new highs, maybe just falling shy of new highs, whatever. But that's kind of my suspicion. So hit the like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. The real thing, I went on so long on this video. The real thing, I wanted to keep it so short, actually. I just kind of like rambled and droned on there for a little bit. But the main purpose of this video that I wanted to portray was just this intense divergence, right, with all these lower lows coming in, and then you've been doing nothing but forming higher lows on the RSI. So I think that, and then again pairing that with the idea of losing volume as you're progressing through this range here, you're running out of steam. It's inevitable that you bounce, and when you do bounce, which I think will be soon, probably over the next 48 hours, I think it'll commence this bounce. I think it'll be miraculous, and we'll move up a sizable bit in a very short amount of time, and then carry on this move through the end of January. That's all I got. Hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.